And we're live. Hey, Suzanne.
Hello, Adele. It's nice to see you. So, Adele and I are here. This is Accessing Wholeness, and we want to welcome you. And together, each week, we have a meditation that we all do together. And why we decided to do this is because our thoughts are very important. We're at a really challenging time right now with all kinds of things going on the earth, and we thought if we can come together, even just you and I each morning, but if we welcome other people in, we can begin to offer whatever we can offer that's positive to the collective right now, to the world. That will make a difference, and it will make a difference for us, and it will make a difference for others. So, our thoughts are so important, and I think that we kind of gloss over that. So there've been lots of studies that show like the power of meditation, and this is just a really small thing, Adele, but in our house, like if I'm the other night I woke up and Bruce, well, my husband's works in a hospital, he's a physician, and he's having a really hard time about the COVID pandemic and worrying about what's coming. And he said, I'm going to go meditate. And I said, oh, great. I said, don't check your phone, because if Bruce is checking his phone, I can't go back to sleep. But if he meditates, I can go right back to sleep. And it's really like this weird energetic thing that I can even feel in my house.
Yes.
In my house. But if you have, studies have shown if you have more people meditating together, that it actually creates a shift in energy.
Right.
In a city, it could do that. So, anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I'm so glad you're here helping us with this, because Suzanne is a longtime meditator and yoga teacher. And if you haven't checked out her site at SuzanneLynchWellness.com, please do. I am her student, her yoga student, and her Nourish Your Vitality student. And I've just I tell you, I've gotten through this pandemic in such better shape. I'm in better shape now than I was in March. And it's because working with you and learning the habits that you teach and putting them in place. So, I really encourage you, if when you're watching this, go check out Suzanne, SuzanneLynchWellness.com. So I'm Adele Michael, and I am a business coach for women who know that they're avoiding being visible through marketing and sales, and I help them face visibility on their own terms with confidence and success habits that will take them to the next level in their business. So I am here because I've been doing this kind of circle work. That's what we'll call it, circle work, using focused intention for over 20 years. And back in the day when I first started doing it, we were working with children who had cancer, and a small group of us would get together and visualize them healing. And we were working with 3 separate children. We didn't know them. I knew one of them, but and they all went into remission. Now, of course, they were getting medical care. I'm not saying that we did it all, but I think our positive intention really helped those children go into remission and have a good quality of life and a longer life than they might have had without our care and attention. So how we're going to do this is we're going to close our eyes if you want to, or take a safe, soft focus, and imagine holding hands with Suzanne and me, and with anyone else that you would like to have in the circle, anyone you know would be interested in this. Because if you're not here live and you do this later, it still works. In the quantum field, time is not an issue. It's your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's what you imagine and put good positive energy behind. In other words, your intention matters. Okay, So we're going to imagine holding hands. I'm going to call in the light. The light's going to go around the circle. We're going to put this intention into the circle, concentrating on loving and caring for each other to lessen the impact of COVID. In the United States, we are set up to have another big wave that's going to
Right.
affect a lot of people, especially medical personnel and our medical system. We would really like to lessen the impact of that. Do you have anything you want to say about that, Suzanne?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of us can have an effect. You know, all of us could have a good effect on things, and just getting really conscious about, can I take one less trip to the store this week? You know, really small things can begin to add up. Can I, you know, at least where we are, I'm not even going to go to the store anymore. I'm going to get delivery. But you know, if we all did this, wear masks, social distance, we basically could stop this. You know, it's not a problem. Like we can do it, but it would take some like focus on other people, and you know, caring for them with our actions.
Right. Right. Yeah, because we know this is highly contagious. COVID is highly contagious, and it happens in groups with, if you're not masked and if you're too close together. I mean, that's how it spreads, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there are things we can do to keep ourselves safe and to keep other people safe. So let's get started. So close your eyes or take a soft focus. And feel your sit bones on your chair. And feel your back supported by the chair. Feel your feet. And Suzanne's going to time us, and when it's time to come out, she's going to bring us out. We're going to go for about 10 minutes. So run a taproot from the base of your spine all the way down into the center core of the earth. And wrap this taproot around the core, making you feel solid and supported. And bring that earth energy back up into your body and let it settle into a nice grounded presence. And imagine a beam of light coming down from the center of the cosmos, down into the top of your head, coming down into your body. It can be a color, it can have shimmer or glitter, it can be transparent, whatever you want it to be. And it mixes and mingles with the beautiful grounded presence, bringing you enlightenment, bringing you calm, bringing you centeredness. Now imagine that this light and this groundedness begins to expand and expand and expand. So much so it's moving out into the biosphere around you, which is about an arm's length away in every direction. And now imagine holding hands in a circle of heartful people, people who care about themselves and each other. And the light is so intense, the grounded light is so intense, it moves out of your right hand into the left hand of the person next to you and moves around the circle, picking up speed, picking up vibrancy, picking up luminosity. And it now is so radiant that it forms a healing and an uplifting energy into which we put our intention of concentrating on loving and caring for each other to lessen the impact of COVID. Put that into the center of the circle of light, along with any situation that you are concerned about or any person or people that you are concerned about. They all can go in there. And we'll be quiet for a few minutes to allow us to focus on this and notice what arises. Beginning now.
can keep your eyes closed for just a minute more, and I will bring us out with this blessing. So you can breathe in a blessing on the skies above your head and your visions of creativity, goals, desires, and your future. Release your breath on an exhale of gratitude. Breathe in a blessing on the ground beneath your feet and all of the creatures seen and unseen who form your local community. Release your breath on an exhale of gratitude. Breathe in a blessing on your physical body and release your breath on an exhale of gratitude. You may say aloud or silently the words, "Thank you." And now you can slowly open your eyes.
Thank you, Suzanne. How was that for you?
It was good. I felt really comforted by that circle, and that, I felt like I was putting, Bruce in the middle and me in the middle too, because we've really sort of been on our last nerve. And so it was interesting. First time I was like ever in there and outside the circle too. But it was comforting to just be focusing on that aspect of being loving and caring for others, and that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I saw little green sprouts. I keep seeing these little green sprouts, and these were like, have you ever seen sunflower seed sprouts that like the little leaves? Kept seeing those. I saw people who don't usually come together. I guess this was after COVID, but they were hugging. It was really nice. And I put a bunch of people, like I put my mother's church, and I put my friend who's dealing with cancer, and I put my mother's house, which just went on the market today, in there. I think everything can go in the circle of light. It's good for a lot of things. So, well, thank you so much. And we'll be back here on Monday, December 7th at 11 a.m. And if you can join us live, great. And if you can join us later, this is very calming for you, and it's helpful for all of us. So thank you for contributing. Have a great week. Thanks, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Bye, Adele.
Bye.